Yo, what up everybody? Ash Recon back here with another video for you today. So, today's video we're going to be covering the intermediate level of deck building. So, what I mean by that is now we're going to actually start splashing in dual color. I think it's about time we kind of go that route. So, our last video was a mono green deck, right? So now instead we're going to do green red. A little bit more of aggressive play style, but it works. This will be a standardized deck, standard only. So, worry about that. One of the things to kind of keep in mind here is that, as we kind of go through this, we will be not using a lot of these cards in here. I'll go over which ones we're going to be using. So we'll start with our multicolor cards first. So, Klothys God of Destiny is going to be very good. Because it's based upon devotion, but also because if you think about it, it's a 3-drop card that eventually becomes a 4/5 indestructible. That at the beginning of a pre-combat phase, you exile a target card from a graveyard. If it's a land, you add that mana to your mana pool. If it's anything else, you deal 2 damage. But it gets better here. So, if you're playing against a deck that is really involved with grabbing cards from a graveyard, they're not going to be able to do that anymore. Very crucial and important to memorize. So, things like Radha, Heart of Keld are also very good. Warden of the Chains, I run 2 of them. Leafkin Avenger. I swear I can talk. Very good because we're running a lot of creatures with power 4 or greater in our deck anyway. So, if we have 4 creatures, that's 4 green mana. Run 2 of those. 2 Temple of Maidens just for the scry. This is where we're gonna get into the spicy stuff. So some things we can kind of add in for red. Now you can add in burn spells and things if you really want to, but honestly, I'm not too like big on that with red for a red-green deck. I mean, it's definitely useful, but things like Terror of the Peaks are going to be useful for you. Just because it costs additional 3 life to cast on top of the spell when they hit it. And on top of that, whenever a card enters battlefield under your control, where its CMC cost is, or where its power is, deals that much damage to any target. So pretty good. Dreamshaper Shaman I also run. Just because if you do sack, anomaly, and permanent, top cards of your library, put that card in the battlefield, the rest of the bottom in any order. I'm just give you some draw power. It's pretty spicy. Now you can run Morog if you really wanted to. I personally don't. I don't see a need for it, truthfully. You can run things like Volcanic Dragon, just for that, additional 4-drop. You can run 2 of those if you wanted to. A Hellkite Punisher is also pretty good. Same with a Siege Dragon too. Stuff like that. We're going for big beefy creatures here, right? There's some things that are green. I think Adventurous Impulse is gonna be pretty good. Run 2 of those just so you can search the top 3. If it's a land, put it in your hand. Especially if we're getting fucked up on land and not getting any lands. That's very important to realize. What else we're gonna run here? We're gonna run 2 of the Ilysian Caryatids. Truthfully, you could also run Lotus Cobra as well if you wanted to, but remember this is not a landfall deck. That's really not gonna be what we're looking for here. 2 of the Nessian Hornbeetles, just because with the creature power 4 or greater, you get a 1/1 counter on it every single upkeep. Well, beginning of your combat, anyway. Rather. Now you can run Rabid Bites, ram through even if you want to. I'm just gonna be really honest. Full play set of Cultivates. Woodland Mystics, sure. Dryad of the Ilysian Grove, yeah, go for it. Run 2 of them if you want to. I'm running 1 though. Honestly, yeah, Garruk Harbinger, sure. Hexproof from black. 4/3 for 3. Whenever it deals combat damage, look at the top of that many based upon how much damage was dealt. Put one in your hand, bottom library in order. Garruk Uprising gives all your cards trample. And whenever a card enters, whenever a creature of power 4 greater enters the battlefield, you draw a card. That's free 99. That's what we're going for. Fierce Empath, gonna be honest, run 1. Search your deck for a creature with a mana value of 6 or more. Add it to your hand. Visionaries are okay, but we're not gonna run those. Old Growth Tro, gonna be real. Run 2. When it dies, you put it on a mana, and then you can then tap that mana for additional mana. Team's Hard's Revenge, gonna be real. Slept uncommon. Run it. I've won many games with this card. You can run 1, you can run 2, it doesn't matter. But 1/1 till end of turn, gains trample, and it has to be blocked that turn if able. Now I'm telling you this because another thing I'm gonna tell you is your deck is going to be above 60 cards. Because this is more of a standardized deck. This isn't like anything crazy. So Nylea Keen-Eyed, run that. All your creatures will cost 1 colorless or less, which means as on top of you also ramping, you're gonna be able to get cards out quicker. And be good. Questing Beast, gonna be real. Run 2. If you can. Now, if you can't run Questing Beast, don't worry about it. It's not essential to anything. We can run Renta if we want to, because 1/1 counters, but we're not going to. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. All your creatures become lands. Also gonna run one of the Elders. The Elder Garruk, because you get a 3/3 beast creature token. You get a life or draw power. Pretty good for a 6/6 for 6. Vivian we're gonna run. Mainly because it's -2. Also because of its top effect. You can move the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. It's very crucial. -2 is when you cast your next spell. Next creature spell, search your library for a creature card with Western mana value, put it onto the battlefield. Top of your library. Super good. Cold Blood Titanate, run it. Ancient Greed Warden, you can run it if you want to. You don't really need to. Beanstalk Giant, run 1. Just because it's ramp, you spend 3 mana to put a card onto the field tapped, and based upon what your lands are, that's what it enters the battlefield with. Next Bloom Ancient. Tap a permanent, it taps for 3 times the amount. Thorn Mammoth. Great Hinge. Thorn Mammoth, basically you get infinite prey pawns, as long as you keep playing creatures. Play Thorn Mammoth, you play a creature, boom. You just hit something. Free. Great Hinge we run because it's an artifact. You tap for 2 green, gain 2 life, and all our cards enter with 1/1 counters. Now, we're not done yet, though. We still have some cards we need to get in here. So we're going to run 3 Titanic Growths. Take a look at our manas here. Someone be real. Based upon looking at mana, World Tree, run it. If you have pathways, run them. Also run at least 2. Basically, I would run some of the dual lands if you can. The ones that enter the battlefield tapped or gain life are pretty good. World Tree is just good because if in case you don't get the Druid, it makes all your mana every mana type. You have a backup. And let's sleeve for style. And we'll go ahead and give this deck a shot real quick. We'll play test it. Now, you can run less than 6. Now, you can run less if you really want to. You don't have to run 72 cards. But with how much ramping and stuff that you're really going to be doing, I think you're going to be fine. Now, we could run more mana. if we wanted to. This is the whole point of play testing, figuring things out. We can run more mana, we can run less mana, we can, you know, kind of figure it out here. So looking at our opening hand here, I'm going to be real. I do actually want to keep this. We have 4 opening mana, with a World Tree being one of them, a Radha, Heart of Keld, a Caryatid, and a Rabid Bite. Now Radha is spicy, just because of that bottom effect. Also because we can play lands from the top of our deck. So it stops us from getting mana flow. And look at that, we got a Cultivate already, so that's GG. Now he's playing black, so you probably might do Duress, Agonizing Remorse, you know, things like that I'm expecting to come out. I'm waiting for the Gasp of Darkness as soon as this card drops. The second the card drops, yep, called it. Or some sort of kill card. That's why we run multiple ramp cards. His whole goal is going to be, he's waiting on me to play stuff. So we're going to Cultivate for 2 turns. Now, so you would have drawn into a 3rd Cultivate, which would have been spicy, but not really what we're going for. So we're actually going to go ahead, play our land for turn, play Druid. He's going to let it drop, and then he's going to kill it. The fact that he didn't kill that is scary. Now we're actually sitting pretty good right now. We've almost gotten all the lands out of our deck here. Yep. See, I'm cool with him wasting his kill cards. He's just wasting kill cards on stuff like... Cautious. So, here's a question. Do we bait him with Radha or do we play Nyx? I'll bait with Radha. Or Rabid Bite his Boot Nipper. I mean, I'm cool with that. Sacked his own card, maybe you lose a spell. He did get card value, card advantage out of it though. Ooh, that's spicy. Okay. You got rid of my next bloom. That's fine though. Hit him for 11 on turn 6. Yeah, so some thanks. Spicy. Playing that man off top. Our card will have first strike. He has to block this turn. He doesn't have enough mana to actually do anything. Yeah, I have trample, so it's GG anyway. Unless he has something he can play for 1 mana in black in standard that allows you to negative damage. No, but he can do that to prevent the damage from... Oh, no, it doesn't matter. It still goes through. So see, if you're noticing something by combining colors here, you have more advantage. You're not limited to just a single pool of cards. It gives you more options. So because of that, you're able to not only ramp into other things, but you also have access to another card pool. I mean, which, I'm gonna be honest, Gruul, which is what this is, doesn't really change a whole lot between this. So we can talk about it in another video, because this is standard. So if we run historic, that's another conversation. that we can have. So like this kind of hand right here is a hand you don't want to run with this deck. It's 2 mana. You don't have anything to really ramp into because you don't have any ramp, period. See, this is a hand we'll keep and we'll put... Ooh, it's actually kind of hard to pick. I'll put Horn... No, that's our only creature. We'll put Adventurous Impulse because we already have another one in the deck anyway. So we'll put the Highlands out, put 2 Mountain, Cultivate. Actually, see, turn 2, we can still play Insects, so... I don't need to do that. We're gonna do a Caryatid, so works out. And he'll probably go ahead. Oh, crack Fabled Passage. Search for a black. Oh, a blue. Gotta ramp quick. Let's get some green. We only have technically 1 green mana out. Hit him for 1. Now he has 2 mana open, so he can play something. So we'll add the green. And then tap, tap. So I manually tapped there because I wanted to use the mana for Caryatid here. So more greens. Everything out early while we can here. I can't tell if he's playing tricolor or quad. Okay, we gonna ramp again. This guy's like, bro, this guy's played 3 Cultivates. He's so confused. Actually, we don't care if this questing beast dies, actually. Because we want the trigger for the 1/1. The fact he ate that tells me he doesn't want his card to die. But he's trying to do the mutate mechanic here, so he's trying to mutate that card as much as he can to make us lose life. Okay. We are kind of running out of gas a little bit here.
Elemental cat dinosaurs? I love Ikoria.
Put a reach counter on it.
We will adapt to any threat.
So the other reason I'm doing this too, since we're not drawing cards, we can use our deck as a way to play cards, which is kind of cheating. And he's doing this thing, so he's going to be able to continuously keep getting land doing this. So I'm going to be able to play Klothys next turn as a creature. So he's not going to be able to keep cracking his Fabled Passage here before too long. So we will go ahead. -2. Play.
I hope
Search for... Get Radha. Play a mana. Play that. Play that. I was all in 1 turn. Alright, cool. He's gonna fight what? My Volcanic Dragon? Really? My Hornbeetle. Interesting choice. Go ahead and do that now. We'll actually add green. -2.
I hope things get out of hand for you.
Oh, do I know I'm off because I get. Hold on. We'll activate the ability. So I get the ability to get the card I want.
Get out of hand for you.
We're gonna grab another questing bee. And that's GG. That's how you do it. We used our deck as a hand to essentially continuously play cards. That's how it works. So that's the deck. I'll go ahead and put the deck list in the comments below. Thank you all for joining me today, and I will catch you all later in another video, probably another Gen Corner of the week. No idea what the new week's gonna be, but regardless, I'll say, hey, thanks for the support. I know I'm still very small and I'm still starting out, but if you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to see on the channel, definitely let me know in the comments below. Also, you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/HazardRecon. Occasionally go live with some random stuff. Not as organized as what this is. Either way, guys, catch y'all in the next video. Peace. Man, get off this. Yeah.